Things might get weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to our life. Welcome back to a new episode of the Hewlett House podcast. It's been a minute, babe.
Been a minute. Here we are. Way to go. We live.
High five.
High five.
Winning.
Doing great. Hope everybody's been doing well.
I know.
Hope your season of life has been busy and good and full of the joys.
All the joy.
Summer's coming to a close.
Which means that we'll get back on a schedule.
At least for the children. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really
For
excited
everybody.
about summertime. I'm like, yes.
Well, you know what? We needed the break.
Yeah, we did.
We-
The children and everybody. It was good.
We all needed the
It's
break.
been great. It has been great. It's just been nonstop for.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jack the other day. I'm like, since April, it has been sheer chaos. Go, 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 go.
What's been chaotic? Tell us. What have we done?
I just remember in April, I went to Florida for a meeting.
Yeah.
Got back, went to Vegas. That was great. Little recovery boys trip.
Mhm.
Although it took me about a full week to recover from that trip.
A recovery trip that you needed
small-
to recover from?
Yes. Yep. We can get
Checks
into
out.
the details of those later in life, but there were some late nights.
Yeah.
And late for me is past 10, 11.
No doubt.
And,
Past
met some
9.
cool people, had a good time, and went with some new people this time that hadn't normally gone with us with the normal Vegas crew, so that was cool.
That's fun.
And then you and I didn't see each other for like a month. And marriage, let me tell you, I'm going to look at the camera for this one.
You can't look at. Wait, hold on.
I don't
Look
want
me
to
in
look.
the eyes.
No, this is advice. How many years have we been married? 2006, 18 this year?
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh, my goodness.
You're so lucky.
Dude, are you kidding?
Freaking 18 years with me? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, we do have a little bit of relationship advice we can give, okay? And, man, it's a constant learning journey, especially with kids and teenagers, and not just our hormones changing. You know what? I'll call myself out. I'll call out the teenagers in the home. And we were talking about this last night. We really do have awesome kids. Holy
Like the
moly, dude.
best.
Holy moly. But, it's a constant learning. There's got to be constant communication. Jess hears me whine. This makes me sound like such a bitch.
Keep going.
But it is not uncommon in this house for me to feel like, how many people are here? 6? For the 6th most important person in the home. And so it's, you shake your head, but it is facts. And here we are trying to just keep it together. So just know we're not perfect. We're here. We'll be a little vulnerable with you. It helps us. I think this helps our relationship too. Maybe this is just a selfish date for us. But
Totally.
if you can relate, we don't want to commiserate or be super negative. But just know shit happens and we get it. And we don't judge, and we have our own shit going.
I feel too, though, the more that you've talked to your friends, the more
Oh, the more normal it is too.
normal. Literally everything that you're so worried about is the most normal thing and phase.
It's
in
actually,
life.
yeah. Which actually, I've never felt so super normal. I've felt,
Do you feel like heard, understood?
I'm like, I talk
that you
to
can
some of my friends, and they're like, oh, dude, yeah, no, that's exactly where I'm at.
See, so that's
exactly
when
where
to
we
me
are.
I'm like,
It's a constant
we
fight.
let it go.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is normal. So this is not a us like situation. Like we're not doing anything super wrong. It's just this phase of life where everybody goes through it. So then I can be like, okay, this is just this phase of life, and I can let it go, and I don't let it like
Yeah. And
eat
we have
me
that.
alive.
Yeah. And I think that's an important conversation to have, is that there are seasons to life. We've experienced a couple of our own.
Seasons.
Several. A few on here, actually, if you don't
What are you-
mind me saying.
What are you saying?
We've had a few seasons with this podcast, quite literally. We just we'll go dark for 2 months, and then we jump back on. We're back, we're here, don't worry. Do we want to grow a podcast? What's
Listen,
the point of this?
Yeah, no, we're.
But it's okay. Here we are.
Yeah, this is season 3, right?
Yeah. Keep rubbing my leg. It's making me feel better.
Oh, okay.
It's
Calms
comforting
you
me.
down.
Yeah.
Maybe
Get
I
him to the
should
Greek when
invest.
he's
Maybe.
when he's petting the rug. Just pet this.
No, maybe I should. Guys, I got I'm not a huge fan of like the pokey nails or, you know, like the almond shape. I don't know. Anyway, but I got him for Hayden because he loves for me to tickle him.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm like, oh, I cannot justify spending that much money. So I got some press-on ones to try out.
No,
But
hold on.
Gwen,
You did go spend the money.
no, the first
We
time,
went to
but
Mexico.
to keep going, to keep doing them. I originally
didn't
did
get
it,
a
and I'm
refill.
like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I can't spend another. It's like $60
They're great back ticklers and back
just to do.
scratchers.
I know.
Sorry, what were you going to say? You
But
got
then
ADHD
Gwen-
on us.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh,
So
okay.
then, but then Gwen was like, I'd cut them off, and she's like, "Mom, no!" She got so mad. I like the tickles that you gave me. So I'm like, "Geez, dude, is this an investment for the whole household? Like that I get these nails? Is that what needs to happen?" You're
Yeah.
like, "Babe, calm me down by tickling me on the podcast. Do I need to invest in
I'm
them
just taking
so that everybody in the house can calm?"
Yeah,
themselves?
one of the issues we have in our house is we had some family come stay with us last week. They left this week.
Well, it wasn't an issue.
Just more stuff going on, and I love them all. They were great. It's just a lot of stuff happening, and Gwen heard a scary story of a 12-foot lady, and she's
it
been in
wasn't
our
the
bed
theory.
every night this week, every night. And then I'm fighting to get my back tickled or my arm tickled, and she is like,
Oh, she'll like sit in the middle of us.
Yeah,
she will
she's-
not.
has no boundaries.
She doesn't.
She doesn't give a care, dude.
Not even at all.
And one
But
of the
she's-
one of the things this is simple. This is just a silly thing. Like when I was talking to my friends about like what goes on,
Yeah.
they actually brought it up. But it is a constant fight in this house. I buy cases of water at Costco,
Oh.
and I've learned you need to add electrolytes. We've talked about this, but don't just drink the Costco water or drink bottled water. Probably plastics. There's probably credit cards worth of plastic in my body, but I
And you
tell the
get mad at
kids
me
to
for
just
getting
get it out of the fridge because I find 20 empty water bottles all over the house all the time if I just let them drink the water bottles, okay?
Yeah.
And Stanley's a whole other conversation.
I only have one, and it was gifted to me.
Dude, you
I have
have
the Hydro Jugs.
you need to take a picture of your
They're my
cupboard.
favorite.
Yeah.
We've talked about it.
The other night, Gwen just walked in the room. I have a handful of water bottles sitting on my nightstand. I get thirsty at night, okay? I sweat a lot.
That's
And-
an understatement.
Yeah. And she grabbed the water bottle and she's like, I'm taking this. And she just walked to her room. And I was like, I don't even have the energy to fight her right now.
No,
And I let it happen. She just looked at me. She's like, I'm taking this. And just walked
she
off.
is
And
the
I'm like,
epitome of the youngest child. I think that if we would have had them closer together,
we would have had more energy to actually be parents.
Probably.
Okay.
but but I think that the fact that like Maddie is almost 17,
Yeah.
Gwen is 5.
Yeah.
So for 12 years,
I have to do it again.
I'm so tired. I'm so
I
tired.
have to do it again.
So I'm like, whatever it takes to get you
Excuse
to get in your bed, sure, take the water bottle. But you're always so worried. Like, I'm never worried about this, but you're like, don't put the lid in your mouth every time.
Because I've caught
She's
her
always-
chewing on the lid in her bed, and I'm like, do not put those lids in your mouth. And that's another reason I don't want her to have the water bottles.
Yeah, it's
She's
fair.
been good about that for a while now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm like, you will choke on that. And if you choke on that, and
nobody's awake.
she'd probably run to us, but I'm like, still, like, don't do that. I need
good call.
rest. I need rest, okay?
And you make sure that everything is just like so that you can turn off your brain.
Yeah. My OCD
Rest.
is a problem, with things. I'm a nagger at the house. Careful how you say that word. But I nag the children. Jeez. Oh, I got nervous for a second. I'm like, please come out right. But I'm constantly nagging the children, like, dude, hey. And then I don't see them during the week lately sometimes. And I'm like, I love you. I want to spend time with you. I want quality time. But I also need to tell you this and fix this in you because
Help, not fix, but help you with
Okay,
this.
sure.
Yeah.
however you want to word it, like, don't
Babe.
do this shit anymore, okay?
This is the
So I'm
difference
like,
between you
hey,
and
I'm like, how do I approach this where I haven't talked to you all day, but I need to help you. You know what I mean?
help me.
How do I
help
be
you.
a parent when I'm not here? That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out now. But it'll change. It's just been a little bit crazy lately. But yeah.
You have to have I think there's 7 positive interactions to 1 negative to balance it out.
Well, got a little work to do. And I think
That's
dinner
what they say.
helps if we're
Yeah.
all at dinner together.
Yes.
which there's activities happening and we need to plan for actually.
That's summer in general too, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to give up either.
I don't either.
But yeah, I think dinners help. We still try to do like it's turned into Jordan Peterson family night. If you're Mormons, there's a thing called family night that everybody kind of did. I don't know if it's still done. It seems like it's still encouraged, I'm sure. But I think it's good for families to sit down and meet and have a good message and see what's going on in everybody's lives and week.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just dinner, and maybe it's like usually I get the weekly Jordan Peterson emails and I'll read
Yep.
the blurb. And lately it's been on honesty, which
This is going to be like the whole time, and it's probably going to make this go crazy.
sorry, gang.
If you scooch this way just a tad.
I'm so comfortable right now. I'll be so careful.
Use the other hand to talk.
I am a hand talker, by the way. I think it's passed down through my mom's side.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't notice.
My grandma, I think my mom's a hand talker. I've as I watch the videos, this helps of us doing these. I'm like, you become more self-aware.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, back to
I don't know what I was saying.
having dinners and stuff as
Oh
well.
yeah, it helps. That helps us communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as your kids get older, they're busier too, and so they're trying to balance their schedules and get their chores done and help, and we're trying not to fail the next generation.
Yeah, I think that our kids are good. I think that sometimes we're trying to find the balance between letting them learn, letting them just do their thing, and like constantly telling them what to do. I think you should do this. I think that might be your problem.
What's happening? All right.
Um,
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think you'd be more comfortable that way.
All right. Yeah, this feels
What do you
good.
think? Anyway, yeah. So I think one of the things that I've been trying to work on is being like, okay, is this choice that they're making, like, is that something that I need to help correct? Or is it something, or not even correct, but like encourage them to do certain things or lead them?
Yeah.
Or is it something that I say, okay, yeah, you learn if this is a good choice or bad choice on your own? I think that's hard for me. I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
So I always want to just be like, I'm telling you right now, if you do this, this is going to be a better choice. But then they don't get to learn to choose.
Yeah.
And we've had some kids vocalize that they want to choose, which
Yeah.
is great. I want to teach them to learn to choose too. So that's why I'm like, okay, where's my line in teaching and letting them?
Yeah.
learn?
Jordan Peterson says that it's kind of we're trying to find the balance between order and chaos. And
Yeah.
I think that the chaos actually is good for us in a lot of ways if we can learn how to navigate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we're constantly trying to do. And one of the messages last week where we had the message was taken a little bit wrong when we talked
I think it was
out.
just
Timing on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying to like fit something
Force
in
it.
amongst the chaos.
Yeah.
Because I was worried it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Which is fair too.
And kudos to Maddie, like that. Like she's great at having the hard conversations, which I'm really proud of her with. You know,
Ditto.
and I feel like that's something nobody's comfortable having a hard conversation. I don't think, but when
Well,
you
guys
can
are more
have them,
comfortable than I am.
yeah.
I'm not.
And I feel like in our house it's pretty good that way.
Yeah.
But she just came in and we talked it out, and she thought I felt one way. I'm like, I'm not even mad, Maddie. I'm just trying to help. Like, I'm not. There were a lot of emotions happening at the time that I discovered later.
Yeah.
But aside from that, just letting our emotions, not letting our emotions guide us. You know, let's get
Yeah.
here. And so she and I talked it through. But a lot of times, you know, it's easy with all the mental health stuff going on and all the anxiety and all this. This is me. Anyway, everybody has it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know a single person in my life that doesn't have a little anxiety.
Oh yeah.
And those that can manage to handle it the best and take on more seem to be some of the most successful people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's that faith over fear, that one step into darkness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where we grow.
Yeah.
And we grow through our failures. You know what I mean? And so that's the message we're just trying to get across to our kids lately. Is just this past week when we talked, was like, dude, don't be afraid. Like, weigh the pros and cons, but don't be afraid to like screw it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can always fix it, and there's pretty much nothing we can't go back and fix. So it's not the end of the world usually.
Yeah,
know?
and things like worth figuring out and doing are usually uncomfortable,
Yeah.
at least at the beginning, right? So, like, being able to feel uncomfortable coming to talk or being able to feel uncomfortable starting a new job or adventure or, like, you know what I mean? Like, life's not meant to be just comfort all the time. So I think that that is one of the things, even, sorry, even for me, I'm just like, in my safe zone. I don't want to like ruffle any feathers or make anything, you know, like when I'm afraid to talk, which why I'm grateful that she's learning that it's okay to talk. But I just am like a non-conflict person. I just want everything to be happy or whatever, right? So I'm, like I said before, I'm proud of her for talking to you about it because it wasn't a big deal, but it was being made up to be, and it was causing contention because, you know, we weren't really both expressing how we actually felt, right?
Yep.
Or there was assumptions there, or
Yeah.
you know. So
Yep.
anyway, it was good.
Yeah, that's right.
We're trying, guys. We're freaking trying.
Yeah, when you spread them out like we did, 4 years apart all the way down the line.
3 to 4, depending on the child. But
Yeah. Yeah, 3 to 4. I just told Maddie, I'm like, you know, you were kind of the guinea pig, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And hey, I was the oldest too. So I kind of feel your pain a lot of times, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
But, you know, we get to have this run with you, and every kid's different, and they'll bring new challenges and new opportunities and new blessings and great things. But, yeah, we're doing the best we can.
Yeah. So
yeah.
keep on keeping on, guys.
Yeah.
You got this.
Keep moving forward.
And even if you think that you're kind of, you're alone in it,
You're not.
try talking to your neighbor.
Or talk to somebody.
No, you know, yeah. I think it's all pretty normal.
Yep.
For the most part.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a little like learning update that we've had.
Yeah.
What's our
some
life
of it.
update? What's some of the stuff that we've been actually doing?
Did you have good news you wanted to share at all?
Oh,
or
yeah,
should
we didn't
just
do
save
that.
it?
Good news. So I was reading the story about this guy who went into his local Walmart. He was this business owner. He's like a bug guy, and he had like a pretty big following on TikTok because he would show the interesting bugs that he would find when he was doing his job. You can freaking blow up for anything, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, he had a pretty good following, and he walks into Walmart, and this cute little 82-year-old dude is the greeter, and he's working like 8 to 9 hour shifts at 82. So he's like, I'm going to help this guy retire. So he threw out on his TikTok to send money to help this guy retire. They raised $108,000 for him.
Holy cow.
Not so cute.
That is cute.
And
Way
so,
to go, guy.
anyway, and he, so they did that, and so he put in his 2 weeks, and he went and he had kids. I don't know where he lived, but he said he went and visited his kids in Florida and all that cute stuff.
Awesome.
Not cute.
So he retired then?
So he retired. Thanks, TikTok.
That's awesome.
Can be good.
Yeah.
I love when we use the things that we are blessed with for good.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny. That was a shower thought I had this morning.
What?
One of the lessons I've learned in this, I'll say learning, is like, it's me saying I'm learning to keep my mouth shut during certain things
Okay.
and being just trying to decide what matters and what doesn't. And then I was also
Yeah.
thinking about that scripture in Matthew, and I don't want to pretend like I'm a scriptorian, but it's one
But you
we've
knew it
talked
was in
about too over the
Matthew,
past.
So good job.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's the don't hide your light under a bushel. And sorry
Oh,
if we've
yeah.
talked about this, but it's been on my mind a lot, even the past few months, is like, there's a lot of crazy in the world. Everybody knows it. What are we doing to shine light? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And if we're too quiet or too scared, it kind of comes back to the faith over fear thing and getting uncomfortable. Like, what are we doing we have gifts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to like acknowledge that I have them too. Somewhere in there, they're there.
Man, all of your
But
things are coming out
we
today.
have them, and if we have a light, there's nobody with our DNA, there's nobody with our unique who we are, and we have everybody, I think, has something to give to the world. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And so I want to be careful. I just it was again a shower thought, but um, it is helpful to know when just to shut the hell up. And
Oh, Dad,
oh yeah,
keep going.
and we'll get to that too. um, but that's it. That's my just a hey, know when to be quiet. Know that other people are on their own path. Some people may not understand what you understand, and there's people that understand what we don't. And just trying to navigate humbly, without assumptions, without putting people in a box,
Yeah.
but also knowing when to speak up and how to speak up. And that's probably my biggest challenge is how to the delivery.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially at home, like and I told this to Maddie the other night when we were talking. I'm like, I don't feel like I have that much time here, and I am working on my delivery. But sometimes I'm just like, I can be a little bit of a matter of fact, which can be a strength and a curse of mine.
Yeah.
And I can be intense, just in the way my delivery comes across. Like, hey, don't do that. That's stupid. Like, here's what we should do, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But it's easier to talk to people nicer at work than it is at home sometimes for me. And I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be that way,
Yeah.
So I am becoming more mindful of that too. But
Cool.
anyway, knowing when to shut up is great, but also don't hide your gifts. If there's something you feel like you can give to the world or something that is calling you, follow that and see where it leads. I think that's important. I think that's a part of faith.
No doubt.
We don't have to let AI rule our worlds entirely. We can still have a purpose. Even if Elon Musk says, what will be our purpose when we all lose our jobs and we have to be on universal income? I think that's a challenge that maybe our generation is going to have, or younger generations
I
coming.
think that's probably the hardest part for us is like we're trying to navigate this world that has never existed before, right? Like
Or
we
it's
grew
been
up
a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up in a certain way, and this is like totally different. Our world is 100% different, and I'm sure that seems to be the same with every generation. But we just have to. It's almost like reinventing the wheel each time, right? Each time we have something like even just the internet
Yeah. And by the way,
that now it like rules our life, where we didn't have it till what, middle school, high school, and even then it wasn't anything near what it is now.
I told Maddie that I'm like, you guys are, and one of my friends was really, and you've actually said stuff like this too, but he just reminded me of what you've said is like we can track the kids. They're being tracked with everything they
Yeah.
do. We see their grades. We see everything all the time. We see where they're at. We can read their texts if we wanted. We could just get in and be into their whole lives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to have some privacy and have their own
Well,
their
and
own
at some
space
point-
too, and not be controlled. Just like we all want freedom, right?
Yeah, and honestly, it goes back to where do you help lead and where do you let them go? Like to me, sometimes I'm like, okay, this like letting you go to this certain activity or letting you go do something, you know what I mean? Like letting them even just leave the house anymore. I'm like, okay, that's like nerve wracking. Like I want to be there to protect them, or even going to school. I was like, okay, what if a natural disaster happens? So I got the younger or the older kids like watches that they could have on so that if they're out and I have to come get them, you know what I mean? Like my head goes through all these things. Or even Maddie like driving on the freeway a distance, like she got a job and she had to get on the freeway, drive for like 30 minutes and back and forth. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is she going to be like safe? Is she going to be, and at some point you just have to let go. And so I'm trying to remember that, especially with her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Because, like, we sit there and we track her grades religiously. Like, I could track them every hour or, like, track where she's at or even Jack. I'm like, okay, are you where you say you are? Which usually they are. And so I'm like, I don't have any reason to not believe that that's going to be the case. And or, like, are you safe? Are you doing, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, we need to let go. We need to let God lead and let trust and let them be them. Like that may be part of what's crippling some of the kids these days is that mom and dad were always there as the safety net, They could do all these things to push and make sure that they are doing and being on the right track. But
Yep.
at some point we need to let go.
Yep.
And trust them. And then, if you believe in a higher power, trust God too
Yeah.
to help them do what they're supposed to do.
Well, that's
That's
what
scary.
scary. And that's what I was telling her. I said, when I was growing up, we kind of grew up in a cool time, by the way.
I
We
know, I
kind of
kinda
felt and
like-
watched this whole transition happen of like no internet. We just like the house phone. You could listen in on your sister's
dude.
conversations and stuff. And I'm like, that's what I was telling her before I got on the tangent of tracking them and all that stuff. But I was like, we grew up like, I didn't get my first cell phone, no kidding, till I was 18.
Yeah.
I had moved out of the house. I had to have a cell phone. You know, I just had to. But before that, we always made it work.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for jobs and wanting to stay connected with certain people, I would go back to just a dumb flip phone.
I think so many people say that. So many people are
Google Maps is so convenient for me.
That's
There's
why
just a
Maddie
few
has.
things that I'm like, gosh,
That's why
dang
Maddie
it.
has a smartphone.
Yeah. I don't want to go back to the old days of printing out instructions on how to get somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a few things, but as I spent less time on social media and I've done other things, I'm like, oh, I genuinely feel better. So there is that. You have to experience it for yourself, but I think that's a whole other thing. But anyway, I was just like, I think I was kind of lucky. It was awesome growing up. We played outside all freaking day long.
I know.
We played a little Nintendo, and gamed a little bit. But the happiest as a kid I ever was just summer hit, playing basketball, doing whatever, you know, night games and all the fun stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, and then speaking of being like scared, so Gwen heard the scary story from a kid her age
Oh, yeah,
about
we
a
didn't
lady
finish
that
that.
doesn't exist.
Doesn't.
Anyway, so we have this fictitious character that she's scared of. But on top of that, I was just like, I probably need to tell her because remember, Maddie, we live in a pretty safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
But there was one time that Maddie's like, some guy came to the gate one time when I was out there younger, several years ago, and was like, oh, I'll go get my dad that she didn't know.
He said that our dog was his dog.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, no, it's my dog. And he's like, well, do you mind if I come check and see if it's mine? She's like, I'll go get my dad.
Yeah. And then he left.
Yeah. Like he wanted to come in the gate. He wanted her to invite her him into the gate.
Yeah. Was he a vampire? He had to be
I was
invited?
actually,
You
I
never
mean,
know.
you have been watching your vampire shows.
Bro, don't even. I'm
So-
embarrassed about that.
I
We'll get to that.
watch the acting in that
Is awful.
horrific. I
Bro.
don't even know how you're still
Bruh.
watching it.
Bruh. I probably should just Google what happened so I know the story and I can stop. So I just told Gwen, hey, if anybody comes to the gate that you don't know,
Yeah.
then come and get me, okay? That's all I was trying to say, and it turned into 20 questions.
Yeah.
Like she's like, well, there's a guy over there. I'm like, that's our neighbor. It's okay. Like if he comes, it's okay. I know him.
Either way.
But if anybody else comes, like that you don't know, just come get me.
Yeah.
Just say, I'll get my dad. Just come grab me, and I'll come chat with him. Well, she told me yesterday she's scared of kidnappers, and she's scared to go play outside by herself. And I'm like, whoa, the hell. So my delivery probably could have been better, but the society we live in
But
is
the
a
thing
little
is,
freaky.
like,
and
what
it's
do you do? What else?
I'm
do
like,
you
I
say?
feel a responsibility to talk to them and say, hey, be careful of creepy dudes and weird asses, but then also, like, go play, go be free, ride your bike.
Right.
We're out, we see them in the yard and stuff. But anyway, just, hey, if someone comes, just come talk to me. That's it.
Yeah.
Come inside, come grab me. And that was it. And so now she's scared to ride her bike. So maybe don't have that conversation at 5
I don't know.
or do.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Because,
you
yeah,
over
you
prep and scare the
Um,
shit out of them is better than them getting taken. But I'm like, dude. Anyway,
I don't know, but so speaking of, we came to come podcast.
yeah,
You said a couple potty words,
I did.
so I have to tell the
do that.
story. We came to walk downstairs and we were saying, "Okay, kids, we're gonna go down. Love you. See you in a minute." Taff says, "What does he say, Dad? What did he say?" Did you hear the way I said that? What did he say, Dad?
He said, "Don't swear."
Taff was just like, "Kate, don't swear." Dad specifically called you out to not swear.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Dude, I was crying.
And I go in phases. You know,
You've actually been a lot better.
thank you for a minute. And then this week, I would not say I've been better, but previous to this week, for
Yeah.
several weeks, I had done better.
Yeah.
The other night we were just kind of chatting as a family, and Tav laughs and he goes, Dad has to swear in every sentence. And I'm like,
He did say that too. Forgot about that.
oh boy, I'm that guy now. But we can all change for the better.
Freaking forgot.
And we all kind of just laughed. I'm like, well,
So now you know.
your kids will call you out.
Now you know it really affects him when you swear. He said it twice in like 1 week.
I wish he would know that it affects me when he doesn't listen to me.
Okay, who's the adult here?
Well, we'll both work on improving ourselves.
Oh my
But
gosh,
yeah.
that's so funny.
Yeah. How long has this been going? 30 minutes? Should
Yeah.
we call this one and start another one?
Sure.
Do a different one? We have, you know, it's been 2 months and it has been a million activities, and this is probably a good catch up episode of
Yeah.
like, hey, we're back. Are we going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Jess you're going to have a little more time on your hands in a couple weeks. How does it feel? All of our
Scary.
children will be in
Honestly,
school.
Back to
Full
the
time.
get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's scary because I'm like, okay, I have certain venues I can do.
Yeah.
And one is a comfort way and one is a little uncomfortable.
So what are you going to do?
I have to get uncomfortable. I have to. I've been trying to be comfortable for too long, unfortunately.
Fight the comfort bug.
Oh, I just want to be.
Are you going to cry?
No.
All right, let it out.
No, it's
I don't want
just.
to ruin this cry for you. Like a yawn when you're yawning.
Yeah.
And I put my fingers in your mouth.
No, it's
Go
just
ahead.
one of those things where you're just like I've been feeling I should go a certain way for a while, but like now I'm feeling like, okay, which involves like 15 times, sorry, which involves me doing stuff out of the home or out of like with the kids, but I've been mom for near 17 years and just mom, you know? So I'm like, wait, but now I can go like be room mom and I can go do those, you know, because I enjoy that kind of stuff. But anyway,
Go do that, and go do what you're feeling like
Do
you're
both.
called to.
I know.
Maybe we're like mentally, there's these waves happening, and I'm having these thoughts for you. Who knew? You have a lot of
It's a
gifts
lot.
and talents that you can share and help people with. You,
It's scary. I like people. My thing is that I would just want to. I just want to do it for free because then I don't feel like. I feel like it's just chat and I'm helping. That's what I like to do, but I'm like almost worried about making it like a career. I'm talking about doing like coaching or therapy type stuff.
your mascara smeared.
Guys, how's it? So cute. Anyway, I'll just stay this way. Anyway, I like to talk to people, and I want it to be like. I think that's where I was worried. Like, I'm like, okay, where is the line with this? Because I want to help people because I want to help people.
Yeah.
And I worry about like charging for it because then it's like a business transaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think you just follow your heart, and then
I know.
it'll all work out how it's supposed to.
I
It'll
know.
all come together.
I know.
You've been doing therapy for me for like 17, 8, well, longer.
How am I doing?
Hellfire.
How am I
Been-
doing? You're
Honestly, you should call a university and just say, hey, this is my
Listen.
husband. Here's his resume. Basically have a PhD in
I've already
therapy.
done all my field work.
Yeah, you really have.
My hours totally checked.
Yeah. So Jess has an associate's degree in behavioral science, and then we got pregnant young. Well, you did.
But to continue on, I still have 4 more years of stuff to do.
Yeah.
If I go back to do the schooling part and do it that way.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, well, maybe I'll just do coaching and start there. And then if I still feel like I need to continue on.
Yeah. Just find out where the most freedom is and where you feel like you can help the most people. And
Yeah.
I think you said you like to talk to people, but I think one of your biggest strengths is listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're really good at that.
Thanks.
And processing and helping others process and how they feel and why and where it's at and
Thank you.
yeah, sometimes people just need someone to listen, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, what are the pros and cons of getting certified and having a license and versus not?
Yeah.
And
Well, the thing is like now I think that all therapists are getting coaching licenses because you can't, I mean, you can certify to be a therapist in other states, but it's like a doctor where you have to be certified in each state.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I think I was talking to my cousin, and she was like, it's like $500 per state you want to do. So I think that way they can get, it's a loophole for them to work in other states. So.
Gotcha. Does she have a master's?
Yeah.
Or a PhD?
Master. I think she went to work. I can't remember if she finished with her PhD or not. But anyway.
Cool.
Anyway. Sorry, didn't mean to go there. Woo, sheesh.
I'm not a good therapist, so
You killed
do
it.
you want me to rub your leg too?
Please. No, I don't like that. You can rub it. Don't tickle, please.
Yeah, Jess doesn't like to be tickled.
I don't. It makes me want to crawl out of my skin. It's so weird. I don't know how you guys like it so much. But, like, if you want to, like, rub my back or, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Rub my feet. That's different.
Yep.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, didn't mean to land on that note, but
It's good.
stay tuned. We'll see what I do. Do I get uncomfortable? Do I not?
Yeah, no pressure.
Ugh. I don't want
Good news is all the people closest to you are going to hear this and they're going to be like, hey, so how's that going? What are you doing? What are you?
No, I know.
But
I know. I actually was watching a show, and they were doing, like, a challenge. It was, like, a reality show. They were doing a challenge, and it was, like, okay, get in the ice bath. And I was like, I did that.
yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, you
And then
did.
it was like, the whole thing is getting comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the whole point of this. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. Some
What's the
people
worst
get an
that can
ice
happen?
bath. Some
Honestly,
people
like,
go to the gym in
I
the morning.
think-
I prefer the gym over the freaking ice bath.
I think what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
There's,
You learn some stuff and meet some people.
I know. I just have to get uncomfortable. It's fine.
We all do.
Anyway,
Okay. Love you.
love you most.